our next speaker. He is an experienced senior executive who works diligently to develop individuals into financially self-sustaining success stories. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Steven A Norene.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Everything that I'm going to cover today is based on fact. It's based on scientific research. It's not my stories. It's not what I think. It's not what I did. Everything is based on scientific principles and fact. So if you'd like the research, please reach out to me and say, hey, Steve, I'd like the research. So my expectations are a couple things. Forgive me, I expected more people, but number one is I'm going to be honest with you. The initial part of my presentation may upset you, and I hope it does. I hope you're a little offended. I hope you're a little scared. I hope you go, oh my God, what have I done? I've picked a full-time sales position. I commend you for that. Thank you. Second part of it is be honest with yourself. Look at yourself, look at your behaviors, look at how you do things, and really say, that's me or that's not me. Because if you can't be honest with yourself, you're not going to be honest with your customers, your colleagues, your friends, your family. So I want to tell you a quick story. A few months ago, my grandfather was very, very sick. And my grandfather means a lot to me. And my mom called me up and said, Steven, and you know it's serious when they use your full name, not Steve, but Steven, your grandfather's really ill. He's not going to probably make it much longer. So I got on Expedia, and I booked a flight. I got out 36 hours out to Oregon, got in about 2 o'clock in the morning. I went in there, and he's laying there, and he's moaning. And I said, Grandpa, I'm here. I love you. And I went and I fell asleep on his living room sofa. I slept about 4 hours, and I woke up, and my mom said he had passed in the night. And that hurt a lot. And this is a true story, but I'm going to ask you a couple questions. When I told you that story, how many people felt my pain? Raise your hand. How many people didn't feel the pain but acknowledge that I'm in pain? Raise your hand. The first one is empathy. The second one is sympathy. Okay, we're going to cover that a little bit more later. But my grandfather taught me a few things about sales. He was a professional salesman. He worked for Seagram's Liquors. He worked for Container Corporation of America, where all your Big Mac containers and your fry containers, he's the guy that sold them. Guy made a fortune selling little containers to these companies. He said 3 things. One, when you greet somebody, always give them a firm handshake, look them in the eyes, be genuine. The second thing he said is, the more you learn, the more you're going to earn. And the third thing he taught me, which was probably the most profound, is he said, when people find out you're a salesman, they'll instantly hate you. He said the reason is because it saves them time. So let me ask you a question. What is the number one reason why people want to use realtors? What do you guys think? What's the number one reason? It's complicated. Why do they want to use realtors? Save time. What else? Guidance. Knowledge. When you say guidance, what do you mean?
Some people are not educated, they don't know what to do, what's the next step, and they need someone to guide them through the whole process. They need a professional.
They need a professional. Okay. The number one reason, let's tunnel it way down, at 52%, the number one reason is to find them a home. It's barely half of them say the number one reason is to find them a home. Not contracting, not selling, but to find them a home. Okay? So what are the top 4 reasons why people do not want to use a realtor? Top 4 reasons why people don't want to use you. What's that? Commissions. Okay, what else?
They don't trust us.
Trust. I'm sorry, what? You said something, I'm sorry. Okay, same thing. Anybody else?
They think they can do it themselves.
Do it themselves. I'm sorry?
I know more than my realtor.
I know more than my realtor. Okay. So top 4 reasons in order. Number 1, commissions. They feel you're not worth it. They're wondering, why are they paying you all that money? What am I getting it from it? You're not justifying your value. Number 2, contracting. Contracting is difficult, it's complicated, it's hard. Why? Why is it so hard? Why do I need to use a realtor? Why do they make it so complicated, as if it's your fault? Number 3, this one kills me, communications. The 3rd reason is communications. And what amazes me is I looked, doing research on this talk, to look in NAR. NAR says that 79% of realtors never follow up with their customer after the house closes. 79% of you do not follow up. What's wrong with you?
Really?
Seriously. I'd fire you. That's me. But that also means that the other table, the other side, 79% of them don't follow up. And guess what? You get them too if you would actually communicate. You would get them if you would take the time to communicate. And finally, this guy, they don't trust you. So based on those other 3 things, why should they trust you? You don't set the right expectations with the contracting. You don't explain all the process and show your value to justify your commission, and you don't communicate it to them. They don't trust you. Which leads us to this. What is the number one, make sure I say this right. Not the number 1. What percentage of customers would give up some of their equity to bypass you and basically FSBO? What percentage of customers would not have to deal with a realtor? Would they get rid of their equity? 75. Say it again? 75. 76%. What do you guys think about that?
That's crazy.
Crazy? You all agree crazy? 76% disappointed. I like that. Why?
Because they don't value our profession.
Right. That's right. Did you hear that? She said they don't value the profession. Here's where it gets scary, guys. In 2009, we were coming off MySpace, AOL, Facebook, all these different online places. And what did they say? Don't go online and talk to strangers and get in their cars. Remember that? Remember that? In 2009, a small company called Uber came out. 10 years later, 125 million people ride in Uber and Lyft. In 10 years, where are the taxis gone? Are you guys driving a taxi? In 2019, 10% of all property sales will be through iBuyer programs. Let me say that again. What's the percentage? 10% will be through iBuyer programs. Let's do the math. That's 590,000 properties at $265,000 each. That's $9.3 billion in lost commissions. It means each and every one of you probably lost in 2019 $3,000. Where are you going to be in 10 years? Are you scared? Concerned? Why are you not?
Because building.
Because what?
Building.
You're building. It's good. You need to connect with your customers. It's not just building rapport, it's building relationships. It's not just knowing your customer, it's your customer knowing you. It's getting rid of that lack of trust. Make sense? Okay? All right. So let's talk about empathy. Empathy is the physiological body and psychological mind transformation that takes place between individuals. Now, I said individuals. I didn't say between me and one person. It's me and you, all of you.